Hi, and welcome to this last segment of this free-for-all Friday edition of Focal Point AFR Talk. Let's grab a couple of phone calls to start this segment. Let's go to Ann Hunt in North Carolina. Thank you for waiting. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you taking my call.
Yes, sir.
But I listened. A lot of this stuff I don't understand, but I'm trying to learn. But I don't understand if I can't be exempt from the rule of law. I wonder why a president can't. And the other thing is my people have been fighting for a federal recognition for about 126 years, and we can't even get it, but yet we're going to give amnesty or want to give amnesty to those that are here illegal. And I'm going to just hang up and listen to your comments.
All right. Okay, listen, I appreciate that. You know, that's a great question. How come Obama gets to break the law and we can't? We're subject to the rule of the law. We break the rule of law. We're going to get in trouble for that. President Obama can get away with it. Let's grab clip number 6, if we can, Jeff. Rob, I'm going to take these out of order. This is a Democratic Representative Schrader. He's from Oregon. And, you know, you've got this deadline coming up, March 31st. It's a fixed deadline. It's in the law. After March 31st, you can't sign up for Obamacare. You got to wait to the next enrollment period. You got to get it by March 31st or you're out of luck. And Kathleen Sebeli was asked about this. No, we are not going to move that deadline. It is fixed in stone. It's the law of the Medes and Persians. President Obama said we're not going to move the deadline, law of the Medes and Persians, because that's what the law says. Now, here's Representative Schrader. He's a Democrat. And the point I want to make is you catch in this how the spirit of lawlessness spreads. It can't be contained. Once it breaks containment, it starts infecting the way everybody thinks. Here's a Democratic congressman. Let's listen.
I think that I would say to the President of the United States, make my day. If I'm John Kitzhauer, I say, I'm going to extend the dang deadline. I think I have the right to do that. And our governor has had more experience in health care than probably any other governor put together in this country. And I'd say, I'm going to extend this deadline. I think I have the authority to do so.
So that's Representative Schrader saying to the governor, hey, just go ahead and extend the deadline on your own. You don't have to obey the law. You don't have to obey the law. If President Obama won't follow the law, why should you follow the law? Go ahead and extend the deadline. I think you've got the authority. Well, he doesn't have the authority to do it, but President Obama hasn't needed any authority to change Obamacare several dozen times. So the point here is it's contagious. This lawlessness is a contagious thing. And if you have the leader of the country, the president, who is exhibiting, he is modeling lawlessness, he's modeling no respect for the law, no respect for the Republican form of government that our Constitution outlines, then why should a governor respect it? And why should a Democratic representative, or a lawmaker elected to Congress, why should he respect the rule of law? By the way, back up to clip 5, Rob. This is the same Democrat at a kind of a town hall meeting and talking about Obamacare and the problem that people have getting insurance. Here's what he had to say.
I think it's great to be all things to all people and develop the Cadillac of all websites. At the end of the day, sometimes you just want to get the first thing done, which is make sure people have access to health care. And my message to everyone out there is don't worry about the dang website. Talk to an agent. You know, that's the real world. I mean, I never got health care by going on a website or doing all my research and calling up Blue Cross and saying, hey, I want plan ABC. I always went with a health insurance agent. And I think you're foolish, with all due respect, if you go on a website and think you're going to figure out what the right health care for you is.
So here's a guy that voted for this thing, sold it to his constituents. This is the greatest thing since mayonnaise. Go to one website, everything's going to be there. You get your insurance on this government website. Now he's saying, look, you'd be a fool to do that. You would be a fool to listen to us, to take our advice. You would be a fool to listen to President Obama and go to the website to try to find your insurance. Got some more stories on the healthcare front. Nearly half of callers to California's health insurance exchange in February and March couldn't get through and abandoned their call, state figures show. On the service front, Peter Lee, executive director of Covered California, said the exchange has been able to reduce wait times on the phone from about 50 minutes to 30 minutes. And this they're calling progress. You only got to wait for half an hour to actually wind up talking to somebody. By that time, most people have given up and quit Less than 5% of the calls are answered within 30 seconds, and about a third of callers get a busy signal. Data show overall 40% of Exchange customers surveyed said they found the enrollment process difficult. Then go to Oregon. This representative, I played the sound bites, he's from Oregon. Kitzhaber is the governor of Oregon. By some measures, Oregon has among the most dysfunctional online insurance exchanges in the nation. Only about 50,000 people in Oregon have signed up for commercial insurance plan through the exchange. Almost all of the people enrolled using paper applications. I mean, old school, because they couldn't get the website to work despite millions and millions and millions of dollars. On Thursday, a grim-faced Mr. Kitzhaber, that's the governor, released a new report. The report found fault not only with code writers at Oracle, the software company contracted to build the site, but also with state managers who overlooked or minimized repeated warnings. So it's a complete disaster in Oregon. He's trying to blame it on Oracle. What happened in Oregon is not a policy failure. It's a technology failure. It doesn't make a difference. If you're trying to get insurance, you don't care. It's a failure is a failure. And the people who promised you this was going to be a whiz-bang success, you're not going to be very patient with them trying to blame somebody else for it. Here's another story out of Nevada. Anyone who attempted to sign up for health insurance with Nevada's failed insurance exchange will have another 60 days to complete the process. So they've just decided they're going to extend this deadline, no statutory authority, but you got 2 additional months to sign up for insurance in Nevada. Why? Because the program is such a catastrophe. One other story, and then we'll go to the phones. A former manager at a market research firm in Los Angeles paid for his own health insurance last fall when his plan was discontinued, that is canceled, because it didn't meet standards set by the Affordable Care Act, because it didn't have all of these useless therapies and procedures he has no interest in. Rosenthal bought the best insurance coverage he could find, a top-tier platinum policy from Blue Shield of California. He figured it would provide access to top hospitals. Then in February, he learned the plan wouldn't cover the hospitals where he was used to being treated. So we've seen this before. All these hospitals, in fact, the premier hospitals in the country on cancer, not covered under Obamacare. So that's what's going on with Obamacare. That's a complete disaster, complete and total utter disaster. And let's go back, clip A8, Rob, or Jeff, rather, the audio clip. This is John Dingell back in 2010. And remember when you listen to this, this was the promise. This is what they were selling to us. The reality is 4.7 million people have had their insurance canceled. There have only been, at the most, 2 million people that have insurance now that didn't have it before. Most of the people that have signed up already had insurance. Only 27% of the people that have signed up for insurance under Obamacare were not insured before. So the total number of uninsured people that have gotten insurance under Obamacare is less than 2 million. Here's what we were told back in 2010. John Dingell.
Let's look at this from the standpoint of the facts of what it does. 32 more million Americans are going to have health care. They don't now. America, which has health care of the best character in the world, does not make it available to 32 million of its people because they can't afford it. And Americans every day are losing their health care.
So that's 32 million going to be insured. It's going to be wonderful. Absolutely flatly not true. Now, clip number 3, Rob, this is Nancy Pelosi talking about the upcoming election. And remember, this was fatal in Florida. The guy ran against Obamacare, ran against amnesty, pulled off a major upset. So Pelosi is asked by this reporter, you've been out there championing the benefits of the health care law, but, and we got the 4th anniversary coming up on Sunday. Do you hear anybody having a party celebrating the 4th birthday of Obamacare? You don't see a lot of Democrats out there celebrating the anniversary. Some of the message the Democrats are running on this term is fixing the problems since the rocky rollout. Is the law proving to be more of a political liability for your party? Here's what she said.
This isn't about politics. This is about the health of America. This is about standing tall, as the country did, on Social Security, Medicare, Health Affordable Care Act. So this isn't, we don't weigh its value as to what it means politically. We weigh its value as to what it means to the health, well-being, economic, and health security of America's families. I take issue, I see these little things in the paper about this or that, but our members, the story that you don't write or see, maybe because you're in Washington and our members are out in their districts, is that, and as I travel, I see members standing tall, as I've said to you before. We're not running on this. We're running on what the American people want us to run on, and that is job creation. Show us the jobs. Where are the jobs? Why are we not here passing a jobs agenda instead of 51 times having political nonsense on the floor of the House? But I'm very proud of our members. Yeah, any bill that's passed is not perfect. I wanted single payer. I wanted public option. So, I had some changes I would make myself.
So that's Nancy Pelosi. She's asked, is this a political liability? And you parse her response, she's saying, yeah, it's a disaster for us. We're not even running on it. We're not running on Obamacare. I mean, that was her direct quote. We're not running on this. And now even she, notice that Nancy Pelosi is trying to create as much distance between her and Obamacare as she possibly can. She says, look, I wasn't for this thing. I'm for single payer. I wanted a public option. This is not the bill that I wanted. This is not the bill that I was looking for. This is a substandard bill. I'm not even for this thing. So even Nancy Pelosi trying to get as far away from this monster as she can. Well, that's it for the week. May the God of peace, who brought again from the dead our Lord Jesus, the great shepherd of the sheep, equip you with everything good, that you may do his will, working in us that which is pleasing in his sight, through Jesus Christ, to whom be glory forever and ever. Amen. You are now free to roam about the weekend. See you Monday.